Okay, so, I realize I interpreted what this building was called was wrong, because, it said house with bricked-in windows, and being from England, I assumed that meant people had thrown bricks through the window. No, there's no windows. They've got bricks covering them. So, I'm not too sure on what the next plan of action is gonna be. It's not yet 11, so we can't really go and do anything about that. The fact this is just called The Machine is very ominous. It's not yet 11. We've got a while before it's 11 yet, so I guess I'm just gonna bum around the town and see if I can find anything interesting happening. Oh, I know you. You own every store in this town? Yeah, that's kind of what I expected to happen. Oh, god damn it. It's starting to be very tempting to just change to The Bachelor before we go too far, but I'll not be bested. Just because we've got literally one... Oh my god, how this guy just fucking sensed it. He could just tell I was here. God damn it. It's a very unusual structure. If only I could investigate it, but everybody in this town wants me dead. What the fuck? Ah, fuck. I was so busy looking at the fucking MC Escher landscape that I didn't notice that... Oh, okay. I'm gonna change The Bachelor. That's what we're gonna do.
It's all about...
I hope you didn't get too invested in horror specs, because fuck...
Daniil Dankovsky,
I can't do it.
Bachelor of Medicine,
Can't
was
do it.
brought here by circumstances most unfortunate. Dankovsky's life work, his theory challenging the existing notions of human mortality, is being harshly persecuted by the powers that be. Suddenly, a letter arrives from a colleague suggesting that there is previous undiscovered evidence which may support Dankovsky's claims. There is a settlement, the letter says, ruled by an extraordinary man who may well be seen as objective proof of Dankovsky's daring hypothesis. Grasping at straws of hope, Dankovsky decides to follow what he believes to be the sign of divine providence. Without further ado, he sets off for the settlement. Late at night, Bachelor arrives in the town. As he seeks room and board, he gets to know a girl called Eva Jan, and stays at her place till dawn.
That sounds significantly less terrible than what Horsepex was going through. I'm all for playing on easy mode since I have no clue what's going on. Oh fuck. Looks like he's wearing a fucking, like, bathroom mat on his shoulders. Horsepex at least had an opening that made sense. He got fucking, like, nearly killed. What's going on with Bachelor? As of today, my mission remains obscure. Fuck it, I know! The examination of Simon Kane, who is rumored to be a man of incredible longevity, may shake the very foundation of modern thanatology and challenge the existence of the existent notions of death itself. So is Bachelor looking for a way to be immortal? Is that the gist of what's happening? So we're playing the villain right now, is kind of what I'm getting. However, even if this undying Leviathan proves to be more than a fairy tale, the mere confirmation of his existence won't survive to prevent the powers that be from shutting our laboratory down. Man, maybe if he's called it something other than thanatology, they might be more on board. I need to figure out the most fruitful approach. Simon is a well-respected man, and if he mistakes my interest for effrontery, it would be nigh impossible to convince him to help me break new grounds in the field of human vitality. By the end of which the Bachelor finds himself battling a truly unvanquishable foe. Alright, so let's consult the map. Do we have an overarching mission going on here? No. Alright, well, let's go investigate. Let's try and figure out what the fuck we're doing here, because God, if I've got no clue what's going on, frankly. What is with this room? Ambience, chill the fuck out. How do you get out? Oh, here's the door. Okay, god damn it. This fucking MC Escher-esque landscape. I'll be with you in a moment. And by a moment, I mean right now.
I had a feeling you would come.
Look at her forehead! Holy shit! It's like the size of her face. Not to be rude or anything. And then up here, it's like she's got like the tiniest forehead in history. Did the sounds from the outside wake you up too? There was a terrible groan, and then something snapped loudly. I fell asleep so quickly I didn't even notice. It's like I fainted. Oh, that's suspicious. I think there are strangers in the backyard, by the pond. They're unlikely to be planning mischief, but I have a bad feeling about this. I'm afraid to go out to them. I hope they go away soon and stop disturbing our sleep. I'd like to thank you for your hospitality. Why do you think they aren't planning anything foul? Our population is so thin. Crime is basically non-existent, especially here in the Stone Yard. Alright, so this immediately contradicts what we saw with Horospecs, because we know there's a fucking, like, slumlord in the town. Sometimes there are pranks, of course. Fights happen occasionally. Yeah, there's a dude, like, getting murdered on the edge of town right now. People are young here, so they often go out at night. But we're a tight community, and now I hear unfamiliar speech. That's not a good sign. I'll go out and take a look, but I'm in a hurry. I must see this founding father of yours. Are you willing to trade the company of a fascinated woman for that of a dreadful old man, even if he is a sorcerer? Look, if I had the chance to meet an actual sorcerer, I'd probably be on board. That's so sad. But Simon won't go anywhere. He has always been, he always will be. Even if the moon were to fall to the ground. Please stay with me a little longer. Look, I'm afraid you're gonna fucking kill me with your forehead. I wanna go see the sorcerer, frankly. Simon is a sorcerer? Did I hear you right? Is that the secret to his longevity? What's going on? I couldn't even imagine the hospitality, but who was waiting for me? I did notify old Burka of my arrival. I'm not even sure what made me take off for this play. Is he a sorcerer? Are you in that much of a hurry? Do come around. The Canes are asleep now. Take your knockabout coat off. Have a rest in my bed. No. You're gonna crush me with your head. Let me warm your hand. You're so anxious to see Simon as though your life depended on it. My life, yes, now that my laboratory is on the brink of destruction, my whole life's pursuit depends on that remarkable man. If he really has managed to live that long, then his tissues will help me defeat death. Death. So that's the enemy you've chosen for yourself. Isn't it hard? I don't think anyone has managed to defeat that evil yet. You were just talking about how this guy has always been and would live through the moon crashing on him. Like, millions of doctors defeated it on certain singular occasions, but my enemy is more fearsome. It is death itself rather than a singular case of death. My enemy is inevitability. I am challenging the forces of nature. This is a heavy conversation. Yeah. I don't understand. Neither do I. I can barely understand it myself. I'm glad no one understands anything. Could death only seem inevitable to us, but in reality be nothing more than a whim of the will that had shaped this world? That is the question. So where's the key to my victory? Fucking Bachelor. It's not far. The Kanes live at the Crucible on Bridge Square. But could I please offer you a piece of advice? I need no advice. Now go on. Simon has 2 younger brothers, the eldest of 2, Georgie? Gregory? Georgie, right? It's gotta be. Is called the Judge by the locals. Visit him first. He isn't asleep. He'll teach you how to speak with Simon. The youngest of the 3 is Victor, his daughter. Maria also wanted to see you. It's probably important. Was it she who knew about my arrival beforehand? Yes, she told me about it privately. Talking to her is no simple task. Maria is that kind of person. She puts on airs, not unlike those insufferable crow statues. But that's just how the Kanes are. It was Maria who told me that she would help you defeat death. That's the precise wording. What a coincidence. Alright, thank you for the advice. Go, and I'll prepare everything for your return. Do come back after you speak to the Kanes. They will probably do a lot of things that will puzzle you and put you on guard. They do have, like, this weird post guy outside. I'll have some advice that may be of help of you if you need it. It's unlikely to stay here. I'm unlikely to stay here for long, Ava. I will depart after speaking to Simon, with or without him. Okay, I'll come back. Oh, right next door, huh? The mansion of Maria Kane, Victor Kane's daughter. Oh, okay, so that's not gonna work out. This is the Crucible, the mansion of Gregory Kane, Simon's brother, so that's where we want to go first. Gotcha, it's just down the street, how convenient. You stay there and be... Oh. Kind of looks like something you'd see on DeviantArt, honestly. Alright, we out, ski, peace. Alright, so now that we're not gonna get... What's up, man? Halt! I'm going to teach you about the technicalities of the setting. Are you the dungeon master? The time and the place, it's not essential. That's just how it is. The actor has to be prepared before he goes on stage, or else he'll fall down the aisle or stumble upon the prompt box. Okay, that would look mighty silly, wouldn't you agree? Aren't you forgetting your manners? My manners? There are different manners of life and thought, none of them mine. If everything goes awry, you'll get a chance to witness each of them. That is something you should probably try to avoid. As for now, please forgive my rudeness. I'm in a special position here, and so I have the right to be blunt sometimes. Fucking Bachelor just came out of that house, saw this, talked to it, and then went, fuck you! After seeing the dude standing next to him as well. Man. Bachelor's no better than Horospecs, basically. And who are you? An actor in a tragic mime show. No, that's the guy over there. That's unimportant. Will you listen to me or not? I'm listening. Time flies by, it can't be stopped or turned back. Nights follow days, which... Are you gonna teach me about time? Like, is that what you're gonna teach me about right now? I am familiar with what the big and little hands mean. Things happen without any regard for whether you're there to witness them. Don't expect anyone to wait for you. Most events can be missed. And so it would make sense for you to visit the places that you care about regularly. You'll find people that will play major roles in your fate there. They stand out from the common folk. The rest are just a crowd shot, a background, a bunch of extras. as it has always been. Indeed. Still, it's best to avoid hasty judgment. It's a paradox, you see. Don't try to care too much for the lives of these bound to stand out people. And don't be too dismissive of the silent crowd. Both extremes will end in tragedy. Why is that? This world cares for your reputation, a fine and crucial instrument. I'm familiar with this. Your reputation. Yeah. Oh, need I describe you? Gotta vivid it. Yeah. How do I maintain my... We've been through this. So, yeah. Speaking of trust, where does Simon Kane reside? I would be most thankful if you showed me the way. Simon Kane does not reside. He lives, or rather exists. He reigns, he creates. Is it like... Is Simon Kane just the guy from Legacy of Kane? Is that what we're building up to here? He makes mistakes and brings joys to the people with the mere fact of his existence. Okay, so it's not Kane. Got ya. All that happens at the Crucible. Go left along this alleyway. As you reach the bridge square, look to the right. You'll see it. So... This... The mansion of Simon Kane's brother. Okay. But then it said if he is waiting for me here. I hope he sympathizes with my request. So, but like, so Gregory is in there as well, I guess. And this is where, oh, the Crucible is like all three things. Okay, got ya. Let's go. What you doing over here, buddy? You okay? Want to talk about it? Good morals and luck are a great help in managing a small community without resorting to violence. Personal standing can work wonders. Who was the Mad Tailor? Well, fuck you too, buddy. Alright, let's go to the Crucible. It sure is nice not being mugged in the street for merely existing, you know? What's up? How you do? Oh my god, I'm so unfortunate. No, thank you. Alright. We want... This is the place, right? Oh, I'm at the wrong... Oh, it's the building over there. God damn it. Guy, can you not hire a fucking gardener? It's shambles. Well, that's mighty ominous, isn't it? What's going on over here? Is this on the map? The polyhedron. Okay. I'm interested. Let's see what's going on at the polyhedron. Because this is just here, you know, this is cool. This is probably going to be a tremendous waste of time. But, like, how could you not, like, want to investigate this before anything else, honestly? I mean, look at it. For a small community, they've got some interesting buildings around here, you know. I can only imagine what the abattoir looks like, considering it's about as big as the entire rest of the town put together. How does it even stand up? I guess that's the point, right? You know. Uh-huh. We're almost there. Alright, so this has been a big waste of time, as expected, but, I have a slight suspicion that this building might be important in the future. This building, you know, this structure might be important in the future. Just a hunch I have. Can't quite put my finger on it. Alright, so let's go all the way back down again. Is this allowed? Can I do this? It's like the ground slapped me in the face based on that sound effect. That's cool and all. So fall damage is pretty intense. Let's not do that one again, I guess. It's okay. We're not horror specs now. We don't have to worry about just getting killed walking around. So it's not, you know, it's not the end of the world that we lost some HP. before we immediately tank our reputation into the ground, and that's exactly what happens to us. What's this building? Is this a church? The cathedral. Yes, of course. Alright, let's go chat it up with some people in here. Delightful. Simon? You don't mind if I just barge through, do you? Can't rifle through anything. What wonderful art. I see you've been waiting for me.
I feel almost nothing.
It's like he's trying to bore a hole through my skull with his eyes. Most venerable doctor, it is with great impatience that we have been expecting you. That's awfully rude. Look, I told a crow to fuck off. I'll tell you to fuck off. You need not delve into the minutiae of your business. Since our family is well acquainted with your scholarly work, we're also quite aware of the difficulties you are experiencing and well prepared to do our utmost to support you. It hurts me all the more to be the one to inform you that Simon, my conscientious brother, the creator, keeper, and embodiment of all that surrounds us, has been murdered. I already knew that because I've been, like, in a parallel timeline. Who did it? That is what we want to find out. With your help, Bachelor Devansky. What do you know? My brother was murdered last night under the strangest of circumstances, but for all the mystery surrounding his death, I'd rather eschew the notion that his departure was connected with whoever visited Simon that evening. The visitor is a man of laudable rectitude? I don't know. And then an old friend of our family. There are witnesses to testify that he and Simon did nothing but converse. Who was the visitor? I mean, we know that's not true. Someone you know quite well, the man whom my brother saw last night was your colleague, Isidore Burka. Was he not the very person to advise you to come here as well? I would have told you that I'd brought here by the hand of fate not so long ago, a naive man that I was. Yes. Isidore has done more than he thinks. I have a lingering feeling that time itself is using uncontestable powers to further its own intentions. What do you think? I'm no fatalist. Categories like time, nature, and fate deprive man of responsibility for what goes on around him. I was taught to avoid this worldview. It could be that my mind is clouded by sorrow. Yeah, it really looks like it, doesn't it? But I cannot escape the feeling that your arrival was no coincidence. Your choice was made for you. My dear doctor, let us not blame fate for it. Let us not blame fate for it, okay? Isidore wrote to you without making us aware. He took a risk that could have displeased our family. Really? Even though we were certain of when you would arrive, my brother was looking forward to meeting you. The tragedy may have been a consequence of the actions he took in preparation for your arrival. Someone has taken a powerful piece from the chessboard, a piece upon which your position here depended. It is doubly regrettable that Simon was playing on your side. So you presume the queen knew of the blow and sacrificed itself for a pawn, but why? To grant you victory over death. Was it not your ultimate aspiration? To help you, Simon seems to have played a very dangerous game with fate itself. He went out of his way to provide you with a body of evidence. What did he do? It is of no importance to me what exactly he did. He took another leap for the stars and paid a terrible price for it. I repeat, he was murdered. Yes. Thank you. The subject of importance here is the identity of the murderer. Did you do it? Like, everything has gone to rack and ruin. I wish I could take vengeance upon the person who ripped the life from this man. Oh, we didn't like that one. Do you want to help us, Doctor, or find the murderer for us? Why do you not, you don't really seem to care, honestly. My brother Victor, who is in the wing next door, would share some of his thoughts on the matter. Help us, and the reward will not disappoint you. Indeed, it seems there are too many coincidences. Your brother's murder can just as well be called the murderer of... just as well be called the murder of Bachelor Dankovsky, sorry. I will help you in every way I can. I need some time to get my act together. I suspect you are not aware that these developments render my whole life work null and void. Look, yeah, you know, your family member might be fucking dead and all, but do you know how inconvenient that is to me? I am convinced that if there is anyone at all that can help us solve this puzzle, then it is you. This mission calls for someone as astute and inventive as yourself. If Isidore was an instrument of fate, then Simon's murder is a message that fate intended for you personally. Do not think I am inclined to blame you for that. I am not. How do you plan to look for the murderer? I feel like it might be not do anything at all. We will take our own measures. The only thing I expect from you is to be yourself. Do only what you think is required. Whatever you find out, whatever you do, whatever your day turns into, everything is a clue to the solution of this puzzle. I repeat, everything that is happening here is happening on your account. Fine. I'm fine with this course of action. Alright, so we'll go chat with the brother. You just stand there and keep doing whatever it is you're doing. I'm sure it's very important. Well, at least I have a clearer idea of what we're trying to do here. Yeah, I never talked to the fucking mime, did I? I should go back and do that. At least I have a clearer idea of what I'm doing here than I did as Horospecs, because I was like, fuck, I don't know, go try and see Simon, I guess. At least now we know. Try and find the dude that murdered him. Finally, an objective. So let's go see if the dude is still there. Yeah, he's still there. I can see him. I completely forgot to talk to him, which might seem strange and all, given how, you know, how he is, but I just kind of did. What we got in our inventory, by the way? We've got a scalpel, sick. Same drugs, alright. Cool, okay, just check him. Crow's gone. So let's chat with this guy. Venerable Bachelor, please be so kind as to linger for a minute. This conversation won't take too much of your time, especially since time stops during dialogues. Oh! Is that so? At least during the important ones. And our dialogue is extremely important. You need to know how to play after all, don't you? Oh. I'm neither a gambler nor an actor. Of course you aren't. You are a living, breathing man, as is evident from your conditions and statuses. You experience hunger, thirst, and fatigue. You suffer... You have to... Yeah, no, I don't. Not me. If I may, I would be so kind as to point out... Yeah, cut the silliness, good sir. I can take care of myself. Alright, you're just a tutorial. Be gone. I've already gone through that business. It's kind of weird that, like, Horospecs got 2 crows, but we get that guy right at the beginning. Whatever, I guess.